Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the first AlphaMasters League tournament here in From the Depths. So let's just go ahead, hit the ground running, and start talking about that first matchup we're going to be looking at here today. So this matchup is going to be between Kharel with the Shockwave and Carrion with the Invader. So the Shockwave itself actually consists of a couple of vehicles, or multiple vehicles to be more precise. The Shockwave is actually a two-part system. It is a base, and when that base is destroyed, the torso that it is attached to will actually undock and fall into the water, and it is designed to operate as a submarine around 75 meters depth. That is very cool. I've never actually seen anything like that, so if we actually get a chance to see that in this matchup, that will be very cool. The other part of the Shockwave makeup is the shock jockeys, which are aircraft or helicopters is what they look like actually. So the weaponry makeup for the Shockwave torso consists of 2 Thunder dual-barrel heavy cannons, 2 Lightning medium laser turrets, 2 Stingray torpedo pods, and 1 Shocker heavy missile turret. The base of the Shockwave consists of 4 Swarm frag missile turrets, the shock jockey helicopters, which there are 2 of, 4 Twin Strike frag missiles, and 1 Boot Thumper missile. Those last 2 weapon systems might actually be part of the shock jockey's weapon makeup, I do believe. And this Shockwave setup just looks incredible. Don't these look amazing? My gosh, they look so great. And the matchup here is going to be, from the Shockwave, will be against the Invader. And the Invader is just, essentially the makeup, it is 3 heavy thruster-only aircraft. And the weapon system makeup on these are 12 medium-range missiles, 12 fast short-range missiles, 6 torpedo systems, 4 front-facing pulsed offensive lasers, and 2 back-facing pulsed offensive lasers. And these also look amazing. This is just going to be an absolutely great matchup, I think. I'm really looking forward to this one. So let's go ahead and get that underway. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. On the right over here, you can see the Invader with those 3 ships. And on the left over here, we have the Shockwave set up. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit, see what we can see. There you can see that torso and base makeup going on. A lot of missiles flying out here. Here are the shock jockeys up top. Those helicopters just look incredible. So already we have a very close encounter coming on here. A lot of missiles coming from the Shockwave, the main Shockwave. Here's one of the shock jockeys. Now these won't be able to take a lot of damage, but we will see how they fare. They could be a little bit more resilient than we expect. They do have heals, so as long as they sort of stay together, you know, there's a good chance. They're low block count, but the heals will really make a difference. And again, here go those Invaders. Very cool looking ships. And everybody is just kind of all over the place right now. Let's just try to zoom out a bit, get a grand scope going on here. You can see the three Invaders here sort of circling the Shockwave makeup. I am getting just a little bit of lag here and there, but it's really not bad. But we have had a huge hit on the Shockwave, right on the torso. You can see their big opening right on the side of the Shockwave torso. Looks so menacing, doesn't it? Look at this, so menacing. But these Invaders, wow, non-stop. They are really hitting things fast. They just launch those missiles and kind of just scoot on out of there. These shock jockeys, though, as far as helicopters go, my goodness, they just look so great. You can see some of the lambs on those shock jockeys. It's actually impressive. The lambs, backward-firing missiles, which is also very cool. Let's see how these fare. What do we have down here? Is this one of the Invaders? It is. We do have an Invader down. And then now he's back up. Excellent. It's always good to have balloons, just in case, you know, you hit the water. You want to have some way to get out of the water. Otherwise, you're just, you're a fish out of water, so to speak, except you're in water. It's totally inverse. Just go with the inverse of all that. So let's take a look at the health real quick here. The Invaders are at 100% and 96%. 2 of them are at 100%. The Shockwave makeup is, we do have a little bit more damage going on here. The torso of the Shockwave is definitely seeing a little bit more damage. And it looks like the battle is starting to spread out a good bit here. The Shockwaves are taking one of those, the Invaders are taking one of these shock jockeys out pretty far. But as you can see here, it is going down. Looks like it lost the top prop there, which was more than likely keeping it afloat. Let's go back over here. Let's take a look at the torso and base system here of the Shockwave. You can see the heals going on between these two. Quite a good pair up. It's like it's date time all the time. And you know, they're just helping each other out. And there is the shock jockey. You can just see it down there as we fly by some falling missiles here. This shock jockey's pretty much out of commission. I think the invaders are now leaving. This one was ganged up on. Two of the invaders were just swooping around this guy. I don't know if he's repairing. I do remember part of the prop was missing earlier. Let's take a look at the health of this shock jockey. 443 of 972. So definitely below 50%. Now here comes another attack run from one of these invaders, still sporting those sexy balloons. Woo, man, they look really nice. So these must be torpedoes, just falling straight down. And we have the other two invaders. Looks like they are now coming back to the main Shockwave. Torso and the base makeup here, and they are, I thought they were separating. Let's see. Nope, not quite yet, not quite yet. I'm really curious to see if they're going to separate, but the base. Oh, a big volley from one of the invaders. A lot of EMP damage here, but still those heals. What a good makeup. And look at this, right through the Shockwave base. We have a hole in there. That is never good. As far as being a submarine, if the base detached at this point with such a big hole in there, I don't know how well it would operate. That could cause a little bit of imbalance on the submarine maneuverability and its capability to sink down to that 75-meter depth that it supposedly will go down to, should they ever separate. So let's see, what's way on the horizon there? That is the poor little shock jockey. I am so sorry, little shock jockey. You're just going to have to chillax for a little bit here. Another volley. These invaders are just so consistent. And there we go. We have separation of the base and the torso. We're going to see what happens here. Will the torso dive? Will it go down? Will it enter submarine mode? I'm not quite sure. They're still trying to keep those heels going, though. Another attack from the invader. Let's take a look at the health. Shockwave is definitely down. The shock jockey, one of them is at 64%. I don't see the other shock jockey in this list. And the Shockwave V2, this is probably the base. And here's the torso systems. So the invader's looking pretty good. 100% across the board, except for one, down to 98%. Feels like the invader, or invaders, have the upper hand right now. That's what it's feeling like. Did we still have a shock jockey? I don't remember. Let me look. I don't recall. I don't know if we do. Shock jockeys may be down. Let's see where these missiles are going. Oh, lordy. Speaking of the shock jockey, here it is down here in the depths. From the depths. It's just so easy to like the name of the game. It's just so easy to use it in so many cases. So much water. It's so easy. The invaders are still doing all right. You know, every now and then they will dip down into the water, but they, those balloons, very helpful. Another attack from one of the invaders. Let's see what happens here. I believe this is the base. Actually, I'm not quite sure. We're going to get in here and look. Nope, let's see, the base. Yep, that is the base. Looks like it is incapable of diving right now. Taking a really large hit. You can see that explosion there. Another massive hole. Seems to be that those invaders are focusing over on that area, but just kidding. Total psych there as a volley of missiles just comes flying in. I tell you what, I was actually expecting the Shockwave to really come out on this one. I don't know if it was just the menacing design of the Shockwave with the torso and the base and those shock jockeys. Just such a streamlined look, but heck, these invaders, they really got it going on. Here comes another attack. A little bit of smoke puffing out. Just a squeech of smoke. It's always good, when in doubt, squeech of smoke will get the job done. And here again. Another attack. I believe this is going to be close here as far as, we're getting close to calling this one. Shockwave is falling quick. Invader, across the board, almost 100%. We have a 99% on a few of the systems here, a couple of the mainframes and subsystems, but overall, definitely Shockwave. We're losing a few mainframes here. The shock jockeys are down. Here's that Shockwave torso, and we have some torpedoes actually coming in here and landing hits on this. Always impressive to see that. The funny thing was they were kind of just following the mountain and skimming over it before they landed perfectly here at the Shockwave. I want to say this is the torso, indeed. It's taken a little bit of damage, not too much. It is at 84%, so okay. In this game, that's a fair bit of damage, especially with the block counts on these ships. So there be the Shockwaves. Let's get a top-down view really quick here. See what we can see. Shockwave 1, 2, and... the Invaders 1, 2, and 3. So easy to get these names mixed up. And here is essentially the Shockwave makeup. This is it right here. There's the torso, there's the base. They are They are dead in the water. And the Invader... Oh, we've zoomed too far. Houston, too far. The Invader... I love the little puffs of smoke. I don't know how effective that is once your ship gets so far in front of the smoke. Probably ineffective, actually. But, you know, better some than none. You never know. Another missile strike here on the Shockwave base. That is definitely dead in the water. And if we don't see much here in the next couple minutes from the Shockwave torso, then we will call this. You can see here the Invader tournament, the overall makeup is 100%. So it seems to be doing a-okay so far. Let's just get a quick look. Yep, the Shockwave is just down to the torso, is the only one left that has AI mainframes at all. So we'll see here. We'll let a little bit of time pass and we'll see how this pans out. So here we do have torpedoes now. A lot of torpedoes starting to converge on the Shockwave torso. Now, the reason we're still going with this battle, oh my, that was a glorious hit. Oh, here they come. I was going to say the Shockwave torso was still shooting every now and then. Looks like something would get within the firing arc of this front cannon right here. And the Shockwave would get a couple shots off. They wouldn't make it very far out of the water, though. And here, look at it, more torpedoes flying over the Shockwave torso. Just missing. Hopping over that little hill here underwater. So let's take a look at the health. Torso down to 74%. And again, I'll give this a few more minutes, mainly because the Shockwave torso was shooting. I don't know if it's going to be capable of shooting anymore now that the side of the ship that was shooting appears to have a rather large hole in it. You can see the AI wireless receiver here, so we probably, might still have a connection going on. More torpedoes, excellent. Here they come. Looks like these are actually able to make it. And there is a huge hit on the Shockwave torso. That could spell doom for it. Down to 64%. I'm going to let this go to 50%. And if things are still looking the same, then we will call this. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see how things go. Let's watch these torpedoes, though. One of my favorite parts of this game, just watching the destruction between these just monster builds people are putting out. You can see every now and then some of the lasers coming down through the water here, trying to hit the old Shockwave. Impressively, though, still firing smoke. So, not only are the lasers having to go through water, but smoke. So the damage is just so minimal. It's really all about the torpedoes that are coming down. And you can see them, every time you see those little white artifacts in the water, that's the telltale sign of torpedoes heading your way. And it really is nonstop. I love this, though. Look at these little, torpedo propellers, maybe these are? I don't know. I love it, though. The attention to detail is so fantastic. So we are down to 56%. We have 6% to go. We still got torpedoes coming in. The Invader is sitting pretty at 100% across the board. 55%. More torpedoes. We will watch this last torpedo volley, and then we will call this one, ladies and gentlemen. And there it is. Okay, I think it goes without saying that this definitely is a win for the Invader. This was a fun battle. Carrion, great job. And of course, Kharel, absolutely love the builds. All these ships just looked incredible. It's just amazing. This was a fun battle, but definitely goes to the Invader, I think without saying. So, Carrion, you will be advancing to the next round. Good job, sir. Shockwave now down to about 52%. So this is where we will stop this battle. And let's go ahead now, and we will switch over. Let's talk about the next battle we have coming up. We got a couple of monster ships in this next upcoming battle. The next matchup we will be looking at is between Ixos with the Luftschiff Bismark and Xaneas with the Thunderrain. So first off, let's take a look at the Bismark. This is such a cool ship. It is a battleship, naturally, but it is also an airship. It is both. And it's the Bismark. It's so great looking. I was just blown away by this build. I don't know. I just have a soft spot in my heart, for battleships and whatnot. Now the weaponry on the Bismark, it consists of 8 SKC-52 cannons. These are essentially naval artillery. It has 4x12 torpedo tubes for a total of 48 torpedoes, and 2 anti-air laser systems. So that is the Luftschiff Bismark. Xaneas is bringing in his ship called the Thunderrain, and this is a submarine. And the weapons on the Thunderrain consists of 120 tight cone frag missiles, which are all supposedly aiming for the engine, the nice heat source of the engine. 60 semi-tight cone frag missiles for essentially creating a hole in the middle of the enemy. And then this is the wild part, 60 EMP frag missiles for destroying random segments of the enemy ship. So It seems like the missile makeup of this is just trying to hit all critical components of the ship, plus random spots on the ship with these EMP frag missiles. This one will be fun to see as well. The Thunderrain is just a massive submarine, and it's going to be an interesting matchup. Normally the Bismarck would have been sitting on the surface, but now it's an airship going up against a sub. This will be very interesting. So let's go ahead and kick this battle off. So on the right, you can see the Thunderrain already launching its missiles. Massive initial missile strike, and here is the Bismarck over here. We have lasers, we have the AP shells flying like crazy. Let's take a look at this Alpha Strike of missiles, though. My goodness, are you kidding me? Wow. I'm counting at least 3 missiles there. I don't know how many you guys are counting, but I'm seeing at least 3. You can see a just incredible amount of shielding here on the Thunderrain, a lot of smoke, but we are seeing shells hit. But what I'm curious to see here is how is the Bismarck going to deal with such a large missile strike? You can see tons of continuous beam lasers, anti-missile lasers firing out here, going like crazy, but these are connecting. Oh my. These are, wow. Those lambs seem like they really would have done the trick here. We are getting a nice lag spike. There we go. We recovered. We're all good. We are all good. So let's take a look at the damage report here. Bismarck is at 95%, and the Thunderrain sitting at 99%. So that was the Alpha Strike of the Thunderrain, boy. And not only that, but it is still doing it. Boy, we're getting some serious pings here of lag. I don't know what that could be. Thank goodness, though, we are recovering. We're still able to keep at it. Let's take a look at the health here again. Thunderrain is still at almost 100%. You can see it's healing. Let's see if the Bismarck's going to be able to deal with this. I don't see the lambs, so the EMP could have taken out the laser missile defenses, which is unfortunate because now you can see major concentrated fire with these missiles coming in here. Now, if they take out any of these props holding up the Bismarck, that could capsize the Bismarck in the air. I've never seen a battleship get capsized in the air before, but it might happen. This could be the first. All right. Still got those cannons going, though, non-stop. And another volley of missiles. It is impressive, the rate at which the ammo on the Thunderrain is able to regenerate these missiles, because look how large these missiles are. These are huge. And look at this missile pattern. Look how cool this is. Oh, man, it's like we're flowing on a river of missiles. Oh, my gosh. We're in them. We're inside them. This is the stuff dreams are made of. Boy, look at all these colors in there. I'm seeing a myriad of colors. Everything must be color-coded, which is pretty rad. So you see here, more EMP blasts. I did see a few missiles probably ricochet off. Yeah, right over here. Looks like, or they are flying through. They are creating a hole in the Bismarck. Oh, no. We have the Bismarck going down here. Thunderrain sitting at 97%. Bismarck at 76%. And she is now tilting. We have one of the props that are keeping the Bismarck up is now down. And it is upside down. Let's take a look at the bottom. Oh, beautiful. Just as I expected it to look, like the bottom of a ship. Just so many missiles. I have such a huge grin on my face right now, looking at all these missiles coming down. The Bismarck really, honestly, it had an incredible continuous beam LAMS system. I tested this ship out in the vehicle designer. I do that with each one, just so I know a little bit about it before we watch them. And the LAMS on this were incredible. That they were repelling all sorts of stuff. So I don't know really what went on there. With that initial volley, I don't know if we just a couple of missiles hit with that lucky EMP to take the systems out. But now it is just non-stop. The Bismarck down to 72%. The Thunderrain has been taking some damage, but it is obviously repairing itself. It's back up to 98%. Looks like we got another hole coming through the Bismarck here. Last I checked, it's probably not good for battleships to have a hole going from top to bottom. I'm not quite sure. I'm definitely no expert. But she is back. She is sideways, doing a pretty cool strafe maneuver. Still, those missiles are coming in. Smoke, unfortunately, will not confuse missiles. Missiles have no... Oh, she's righting herself! Hang on a minute, this battle is still going. Bismarck is back up in action. That is a testament to an amazing build. That is all I have to say. That is incredible that this was able to right itself. And look at this. Woo! My goodness. Bismarck my friend, I'm afraid you are going down. Down to 60%, we've lost a couple of the main frames. The Thunderrain back to 99%, almost at 100% now. And we are just seeing a massive amount of debris falling off the Bismarck. I'm seeing holes everywhere, components everywhere, EMP explosions, missiles landing, more missiles. Gosh, I am just a little flabbergasted right now at the Thunderrain. Those missiles really just landed perfectly. So I guess that was the whole point of the Thunderrain, was just to overwhelm your opposition with just the most incredible amount of missiles. You would have to have an insane laser missile defense setup, or maybe even anti-missile missiles, to try and take out so many. You know, and yeah, part of me wonders if anti-missile missiles would have been better in this case, potentially. You know, they're proximity-based, they fire the frags everywhere. You might have been able to take out multiple missiles at once with anti-missile missiles, but you know, the Bismarck had quite a unique continuous beam LAM system going on there, which normally, if you get the power high enough on those continuous beams, you know, around 100 to 200, it's enough to just pop missiles out of the air so quickly. And still, look at this. You know, so I hope it's okay. We're not really looking at the Thunderrain much. It seems to be doing all right. It felt like all the damage was coming over here towards the Bismarck. And the Thunderrain is back up to 100%. All of the AI mainframes on the Bismarck are down. So I don't know what it's going to be doing. Let's just take a look at the block count really quick if we can here. 18,000 block ship. It is right around 50%. If my math in my head is adding up right. 9 plus 9 is 18. Add some zeros, 18,000. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to let this go for like another minute or so. We'll cut back and see how things are faring. The Bismarck seems to have a rather interesting teeter-totter maneuver going on here, where it's been like wavering to the left and to the right. Now it seems like it's going to be tipping over again. And of course, those missiles, you know, super continuous. The ammo supply on the Thunderrain is well thought out, because I have not seen these missiles stop. Let's go over here and take a look. While the Bismarck is down there, it's not having a very good day. Let's take a look at the Thunderrain here. Look at this. Just, it's so cool. It's just amazing how these things work. You know, as far as submarines go, I would love to have the Thunderrain on my team. Heck, I'd love to have the Thunderrain and the Bismarck. I'll take them. I'll take them all. Thunderrain is a 13,000 block submarine. Let's just do a little fly through. Wow, look at this. Is this not incredible? Look at this. I got to get a screenshot of that. Look at this. It's never ending. This looks like something Willy Wonka would show off. I bet you could lick those missile tubes and they would taste like chocolate. I have no doubt in my mind. No doubt. Oh, they would taste like snozberries, because snozberries taste like snozberries. I am absolutely certain of it. So here's the Bismarck. She's about to be cut in half, my friends. Look at this. Wait a minute. It has been cut in half. Ladies and gentlemen, we will give this to the Thunderrain. It has completely cut the Bismarck in half. We've seen it all. We've seen it all. I've never seen a Bismarck get cut in half before, but it's a first here and from the depths. It's been cut in half. It's incredible. Somehow the ship hasn't like collapsed in on itself and just broken off. Somehow the game still thinks it is attached. I'm not quite sure how. It could be a symptom of the tournament mode we are running here. But Xaneas, absolutely great job with the Thunderrain. You will be moving forward. Ixos, absolutely loved the Bismarck. This was an incredible build. The fact that you made this an airship at the same time, you have blown my mind. I've seen it all here and from the depths. So ladies and gentlemen, this is where we will stop this episode. This has been absolutely a blast. I am really, really loving these ships, these builds. These battles are fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all in the next episode. So naturally, if you have any comments or suggestions, or you just want to talk about these builds and how amazing they are, feel free to do so. Look forward to seeing you all, like I said, and until then, hope you all have a great one. Take it easy, and stay classy. Sexy, sexy missiles coming from the Thunderrain, hitting the Bismarck, making it rain. That's why it's probably called the Thunderrain, because the missiles are rain. Now oh, that actually makes sense. That's why it's called the Thunderrain. It's so many it's raining missiles. It's all clicking. I hope I remember to cut this stuff out too. Good gosh.